We are reviewing 15.2, drawing quadrilaterals. We looked at yesterday, or 15.1 lesson is when we were classifying quadrilaterals. And remember, a quadrilateral is a shape that has four sides and four angles. So on 15.1, we classified the quadrilaterals by the number of pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, by the number of pairs of sides of equal length, and by the number of right angles. So now we're going to draw a quadrilateral by using the information that's given to us. So let's take a look at what they're asking us right here. So if you have a colored pencil, please, this would be the time to use it. So it says to draw line segments from points A to B, from point B to C, from point C to D, and from point D to A. From point D to A. What is the name of this quadrilateral? And again, four sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and four angles. Here are two right angles, and here is an obtuse and an acute angle. What is the name of this one? Yes, it's the trapezoid. Trapezoid. That's it. That's the shape. And for some reason, the trapezoid stays in my head for a very long time. That's one of my favorite shapes. So let's take a look at the next section here. Draw a figure that does not belong. So here are three examples of a parallelogram. So it's asked us to draw an example of a quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram. So it means it's not going to have the features of a parallelogram, which are two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. So this is one pair, this one here, and this one here. This is the other pair that are parallel to one another, and two pairs of opposite sides of the same length. These two are the same length. These two are the same length. So two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, two pairs of opposite sides with the same length, and these two follow the same thing. So we're going to draw one that's a quadrilateral, but does not have these features. So I'm going to draw one that has only one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Go down. I'll go down this way, and I'll go across like that. So again, only one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. It's this side here, and this side is here is parallelogram. And that's why my quadrilateral is not a parallelogram. It only has one pair of sides that are parallel, which are these two. And again, with your ruler, it'll be much sharper. Okay? So let's look at question letter B. And question letter B is looking at, here are three examples of a square. Draw a quadrilateral that's not a square. So you need to look at what a square is. Definition of a square before you can move on. So take a look at your notes, and please remember, you can use your notes. Take a look at your notes and then come back and review this. So we're back looking at question letter B. And again, we're looking at a quadrilateral that's not a square. So let's take a look at the characteristics that all of these squares have. So it has, this one has four right angles, but this one doesn't have four right angles. Okay, so we're not looking at that. We're looking at four sides of equal length. That's the characteristics that this square has. So I need to draw a square that does not have four sides of equal length. And that square would look like this. Okay? So this is a quadrilateral that is not a square. It is not a square because it only has, and again, yours are straighter. Because it does not have four pairs of sides of equal length. It only has two pairs of equal sides that are opposite sides that are equal length. These two are parallel, the same size, and these sides are the same size. And these squares all sides are of equal length. So this one is an example of quadrilateral that it's not a square. And it's quadrilateral because it has four sides and four angles. But it's not a square because it does not have four sides of equal length. So here are three examples of a rectangle. And it's asking you to draw a quadrilateral that is not a rectangle. That is not a rectangle. So let's look at the rectangle that's shown here. So we have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, and four right angles. Here's a right angle, here's another right angle, here's another, so it has four right angles. So that's what we need to do for it not to have four right angles or two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. So my shape is going to look something like this. Again, it does not have four pairs or four angles, four right angles. Okay, it does not have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. And what do we call this one? A trapezoid. Good. But it is a quadrilateral because it has four sides and it has four angles. It does not have the four right angles or two pairs of opposite sides that are the same length and that are parallel to one another. Okay. Now your shapes will vary, but it cannot have these characteristics. The right angles, the two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, and of the same length. And again, you need to have the language, the verbiage, okay, the vocabulary. Okay, here are three examples of a rhombus. Draw a quadrilateral that is not a rhombus. So if we take a look at this rhombus, okay, what do we see? We see four sides of equal length. Four sides of equal length. Four sides of equal length. So what would our quadrilateral look like? Okay, remember it must have four sides and four angles. It will not have four sides of equal length. So how about this one? Does not have four sides of equal length. Okay, and that it is still a quadrilateral because it does not have the. It does have. It's a quadrilateral because it has four sides and four angles. Okay. So again, some of your shapes will vary, but the premise, the idea is the same. So again, pause if you have to pause and come back to it to review. So we're back looking at the next question, the share and show. And let's look at what they're asking us to do. Choose four endpoints. So here are your endpoints that connect to make a rectangle. We want to make a rectangle. And let's look at what a rectangle. It must have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, two pairs of sides of equal length, and four right angles. So the four right angles gives you a good clue of which four endpoints you're going to use. And if you start looking at these endpoints and match what they're asking you to do, two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, two pairs of sides that are equal length, there's only one solution here. Can you see it? If you want to pause it and do it on your own and check it, go ahead and do so right now. If we go and look at these four endpoints right here, here is my rectangle. It has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. There's one pair, there's two pairs of sides of equal length, two pairs of sides of equal length, and four right angles. Here are your four right angles. So that satisfies that. That was easy. And again, we're having fun drawing the angles. So let's look at the next one. It has to have four right angles. Four right angles. And the easiest one I can think of is my square. Here are my four right angles. Okay, or you could have drawn a rectangle. Okay, but I like the square, and this would be square. Okay, two pairs of opposite sides. Two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. So it has to have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. So let's take a look at our shape here. And if we take a look at this one, we already have one set up for you here. It's already drawn for you. It's right here, this one right here. Okay, and it would be the parallelogram. Okay, it would be this shape right here. One, two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. It's two, and these two, and it's a parallelogram. Okay, here's your shape right here. Two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. And that's your parallelogram. Good job. Well, let's take a look at the next question. Okay, it says draw a quadrilateral that does not belong. Then explain why. So let's look at what they have here. Here's a quadrilateral. There's another one. There's another one. And what do they all have in common? Good. Parallel lines. Good. Four angles. Good. So our quadrilateral cannot have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. And then my good old friend, the trapezoid, comes into play. Again, the trapezoid would be my quadrilateral that does not belong here because it only has one pair of opposite sides that are parallel, which are these two right here. So you start seeing how, if you understand the verbiage, the language, it all makes sense. And please use your notes, okay? Please use your notes. That's what they're there for. The next one here, so you have to start thinking about what Amy has four straws of equal length. Here they are. Okay. And if you have these, if you have four sticks or four little straws, let's try to do this on with your hands-on experiment. Try it out yourself. Okay. So she has four straws of equal length. That's the key, equal length. Name the quadrilaterals she can make using these four straws. So which quadrilaterals can she make using the four straws? And then think about if she cuts one of the straws in half, she uses the two halves. So she'll cut one. So let's go ahead and figure out this section here and then go to the next one where she cuts one in half and she uses these two halves with these other three straws of equal length and name a quadrilateral she can make using these four straws. Okay? So remember, she'll do one with the four straws, and she's gonna use the two halves. She's gonna cut one. She's gonna use the two halves and two other and two of the other straws to make a quadrilateral. So she's gonna cut this one in half, and she's gonna use two more of these to draw out your shape. So let's see what you can come up with, and I'll show you the possible answers. So if we look at our possible answers here, is the shape she can make with the four straws is a parallelogram, a square, and if it's a square, it will also be a rhombus. Okay, can you see it? You should be able to see it. And if she cuts this one in half and uses these two, she'll make a parallelogram and she can make a rectangle. Okay, if you have questions, which these, okay, where it says possible answers, that means these are not all the answers you can have. So if you have questions, please ask me, but these are the most common answers that we get. Okay, and again, this is a visual one that you can see. And why is this true? Because she has the four straws of equal length. They're equal length. So you're going to be able to make a rhombus because a rhombus has four sides of equal length, and so does a square, and so does a parallelogram. Okay, and then if they're going to be put together to form those shapes. And if you want to try it out on your own with sticks or toothpicks or straws or anything that you have of equal shape, but they have to be of equal size, okay, of equal length. So again, if you have questions with this, classifying your quadrilaterals, please refer back to your notes and review the video. You have your daily task assessment to work on today. And again, just walk it through, use your notes, and we will check this one again on the next lesson for you to review before you take your quiz the following day. And here you're drawing quadrilateral, and just read the instructions and follow what they're asking you. That's all you need to do. Okay? I would use a pencil with this so you can play around with it. All right. Well, thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.